Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hitting that play button on the Hetty Coleman Show. I am so grateful to be here with some fabulous people. But let me just say this. You know that on this show, I like to get people to share their stories because I believe that we learn from them, we are inspired by them, and we connect, which leads to community. And I believe, now I don't know if everybody else believes, but I believe that community wins. When people rally together, everybody wins. And so grateful to have Regina and Derek here with me today, and we're just going to talk about all sorts of fun things. We don't want to get super specific because I can just have great conversations with my good friends Regina and Derek, but we're going to let Regina tell her 120-second story. Derek can tell a little bit of the story. Derek, you got about 30 seconds worth of your story.
15.
You're gonna share. 15.
Okay.
Regina, come on.
Who's watching the time? Okay.
I got two.
Okay. So
I don't really time the 120 seconds.
Okay, awesome, great.
That's good though.
I'm a fifth generation Oklahoman, and I come from a large family. I am a soon-to-be single woman with 3 children. I'm a working mother. I've got 3 girls. I wanted all boys. God said, "Ha! Funny, I got 3 girls for you, and now I wouldn't trade it for the world." We all have the same middle name, which is Joy. And I believe that is essential to who we are and our character and what we bring to this world and part of our mission. I am a passionate lover of Christ. He is my Savior. He is my everything. I've been through a lot in my life, but I have learned to count it all joy and just keep moving.
Nice. Good.
Not bad for 1 minute.
Wow.
That was 1 minute.
Done.
Now, you didn't say anything about like some of the work you do.
Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. I own 4 businesses like a crazy woman, and I also maintain a full-time job, which makes me insane in the membrane.
Insane?
In the brain. Okay.
Nice.
Thank you. It's a little.
Yeah.
So I have RJB's Concepts, which is a marketing and design agency, and we will be celebrating 10 years this week.
We were just talking about that. Is amazing.
10 whole years.
Has it been 10 years?
10 years. Like, just let that marinate for a little bit.
In 10 years, what's changed the most for you?
Who I do business with, and how I do business. I jumped in thinking things had to go a certain way.
Yeah.
And you learn over time that you don't need a huge team. You don't need all the things to get work done and to do it well. But what you do need to do is consistently treat people well and do good work. So
yeah.
I think that's been the biggest lesson. That and bad clients will bring your business down, and it is okay to say no.
Yeah.
It is okay to say no. Let's see. Launching in this third quarter is a new venture with a partner. His name is Paul Rambula, and it is also a marketing agency, but we are focusing specifically on comprehensive legal marketing for attorneys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. Launching, and I've already kind of launched it. It's kind of been like a soft launch with my personal brand, reginajoy.com. I mean, if you go there, you're going to get a splash page, but I just need to open it up.
What's Regina Joy?
Well, I'm so passionate about women, empowering women to be and do what it is they're called to do. So if it's launching a business, if it's being effective at home and in their relationships and as children, I feel like women, we carry a lot.
Yeah.
And while sisterhood is a thing, I feel like we're not always having honest conversations about the challenges that we're having and how we're overcoming them, or if we are.
Yeah.
So I really want to dive in a conversation with more women, starting a web series. It's going to be called Women, which is an acronym for Women on Mothering, Entrepreneurship.
A web series called Women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
But it's
legit.
an acronym for Women on Mothering, Entrepreneurship, and Nuptials.
Okay.
So, and that would be kind of rooted in reginajoy.com.
Nice.
And then I started the Vanguard this year,
Okay.
which is a theatrical production company. And that is definitely new. It's always been something I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not know, but my background is in theater. As a matter of fact, my bachelor's degree is in musical theater. Graduated from OU. And then, even my master's program, I focused on starting a fine arts center. So it's always been, I felt like that would be my life's work, you know, like everything else is like fun and it's cool and it's fulfilling. But I felt like when I leave this earth, that is the one thing that I would love to have remain and permeate
Nice.
the community.
Well, there's a lot up there that we can unpack. But before we do that, let's let Derek kind of chime in and tell a little bit about who you are. I know that you know, we do 5 random things.
Your
People
fans
know you,
me, man.
You know what I'm saying? And so just go on and give them an update on what you're doing and who you are.
Shout out to my sponsor, Vintage Coffee. I don't have y'all today, but listen, I took the branding off, baby. Thank y'all for sponsoring the boy. Let me eat at your place, drink at your place. Love y'all.
I would literally not know vintage coffee without Derek.
But wait a second. I don't know if anybody's ever come on somebody else's show and like, shout out to my sponsor. Thank you for letting me be here today. No, they can let you be here today.
I need a sponsor.
Yeah, there we go. Alan Carey's fine. Like, I appreciate y'all, you know, for all the work y'all do. For investing in your boy, letting me dream, you know, let me do what I do. I'm not going to talk about myself. I do want to highlight, though, that Regina did do an Ignite talk here in Oklahoma City, and we co-emceed that.
Yeah.
And
they were
at
so
that opportunity, she took the stage to also empower women.
Yeah.
And talked about being great moms and picking their professions and all that good stuff. So I think the more she matures and settles into this womanhood of being mom and entrepreneur, she's learned a few things, and that process of learning is allowing her to empower other women as well.
Yeah.
Not only personally but professionally. So I'm excited to get her on your show, man, and hear what she has to say. Not only about the Vanguard, but some of the work she's doing in the community.
Yeah, she's doing some amazing stuff just all around the health for businesses, full-time job, being a mom, you know, all that stuff. You definitely want to take the opportunity to kind of let her share, because I'm sure some people can learn from it, be inspired by it.
I hope so.
And find ways to connect with you. So
Before you say that, she also has a sign outside of her office that says free hugs.
Free mom hugs.
Free mom hugs, I'm sorry. So
Yeah,
I'm not the only hugger.
It's different.
I'm not the, it is
Because
true.
dads kind of come in for that side hug.
I see, I'm not a traditional dad, though.
Okay, that's right.
I come with the koala. Like, I give you the legs if you let me.
Okay.
I've seen some of your video.
Yeah, it's great. So she
I
gives
like
out free
kind of,
hugs.
I'm shorter, so I gotta like kind of come underneath and just like wrap my arms around the back, and then
mom
I do
hugs are different.
that light
Ooh,
rub,
the
and
back
sometimes I
rub.
scratch with it a little bit.
Shout out to Vintage Coffee for warm back rubs.
Hey, wait, how long have you and Regina known each other?
Regina and I went
man.
to middle school together, so 92.
17, 27, 27.
27 years?
27 years.
92.
Well, but you would have came a year after, because
So you left
you
in
were here.
93.
I left in 94.
94. I left in 95.
So,
So 92.
So-
Oh, no, 93.
Yeah.
93.
Where'd you
Yeah.
leave? Like, what do you mean you
Carver.
I mean,
It
go
was
to,
middle school.
go to high
Oh.
school.
Middle school.
I was
left
older.
to,
More mature.
It's still older than that.
Yeah.
You know, it's time
No,
to have
I'm
it.
not. You're older than I am.
You
We've
didn't-
swapped
Time would have it.
recently.
You didn't come catch her?
Yeah, so sang together
In the choir.
and then OU down in Norman.
Yep.
Went to church together. Kids played together.
Yeah.
Our wives danced. My wife and she danced together.
Oh, yeah.
So lots of history there.
We've done a lot of life together.
Which is crazy to think that we're old enough to say we've known each other for
27 years. Let that marinate.
Now, was there ever a disconnect? Like, y'all didn't talk as much?
His first 2 years in college when you
That's
were
what
in
I was gonna
Iowa.
say.
Yeah.
So 2 years, well, it would be 3 because you graduated, and then it was 2 years. right? So so it's about 3 years.
But no, not really, because so my cousin was in his class and they were really close as well. So like
And
that
then I
whole
came
little
back.
network.
Who's your cousin?
Nikki, she lives in Chicago. Hi, Nikki, if you're watching.
What up, Nikki? And then and I came back at the end of or middle to end of 01. So it's 2 years.
Okay, yeah.
It's about 2 years.
So she ended up going to UCO.
No. So we were still connected when I went to UCO.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was when I went to Iowa.
Okay.
And came back.
Because I met Regina before I met you.
Yeah,
Really?
at OU.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
OU, he would come to
I thought
Bible
about
study, and you even preached at
Yeah.
Impact Bible Study before.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was like, this
So
dude is so cool.
you
We
haven't
would
been
be
my friend
so
longer?
excited. No, we've been friends longer, Derek. You lost. Sorry.
Yeah, it actually, because were you coming to We Tell Stories before he was coming to We Tell Stories?
Oh yeah, I felt
Yeah.
like I was at
You
the
was the
first
very
one.
beginning.
Yeah. Sorry, Derek, you're not a real friend.
It's okay though. It's
We
I was
still
just
love
trying to. When did we all realize that we knew each other? Was it probably We Tell
Saturdays.
Stories?
I don't know.
Shout out to your sponsor.
Shout out to Mitch Cosby for letting me be disappointed today.
We're gonna go take a commercial break right now.
Should have worn a shirt.
So Regina, talk to us about being a black female entrepreneur, because you have these different. So you have just being black. You know the challenges with that, and then being a female, because even if it's a white female, there's still some challenges for white female. Now being a black female, like speak to what that's like. What has been your experience?
Yeah, it's heavy on a lot of different fronts. I'm often, especially in my industry, marketing and even considered tech with being a web developer as well. Often the only woman and the only black in the room, in a room full of men, typically white men. It doesn't help that I'm short. So I deal with people talking over me a lot. And I have to, they call it the black tax. I feel like I have to work extra hard to get the deal, to get the work. But I have noticed that when you do people well, I think I have that going for me. That my general character is nice. I'm gonna over deliver, and so that has worked well. People like good business, and they like to do business with people.
Regardless of skin color, female, black,
So the initial, getting to know people and or getting a deal can be a great challenge, and it's one that I welcome. I mean, it's not uncharacteristic to just life in general, but once I'm in, it goes pretty well.
Yeah. What are some other challenges for people out there thinking about jumping into entrepreneurship or starting something? What are some other challenges you like, hey, here's some other things that you just might want to consider? Yeah,
I think a lot of entrepreneurs are always worried about how they're going to fund their business, how they're going to employ people, pricing. I know it seems like simple, but getting your pricing right, the product, how you deliver it, placement, all of the P's, can really make a difference. And so honing in on those things as an entrepreneur, just because you have a good idea, a good idea is not going to make them come, build it and they will come. That is not have
true.
A good idea and people will show up. No, that's like, there's so much work. And I think generally entrepreneurs, like, we don't mind putting in work. Like, we gonna get up early, we gonna go to bed late. Like, what is sleep? We're ready to do the work, but there are some things that scientifically just work, like getting your pricing right, placement right, knowing who your audience is, like who you are selling to, and all of that really can make the difference. Someone has already thought about it, they've laid it out, it's in every marketing book, but you have to put those things to practice. And couple that with your great ideas and your tenacity and your audaciousness to say, I'm going to start something. And I think just believing in who you are and what you can do. You got to have that gut. People talk about that gut. I like to call it the Holy Spirit. But that thing in you that says, okay, yes, that you're moving in the right direction. You got to trust that too.
That's good. Talking about pricing, one of the things, and Derek and I probably have talked about this a gazillion times, just like, how do you go about pricing something? Like, in starting out, sometimes it may, and I don't know how you feel about this, sometimes it has to be free.
Come on. You know, like, no, they're going to pay me for this. But it's like, sometimes you got to give it away first. And sometimes, I think if you have the willingness to give it away all the time, then that kind of becomes a bed upon which you build that gratitude, that graciousness of being willing to give it away.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely at a point like, okay, I'll send you an invoice. You know, I'll be sending invoices.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I give away too because I want to give, because I would do it for free. There's always an element of, okay, I billed them for 5 hours, but it was like 8.5.
Yeah. So do you bill by project or by hour?
So it depends. The way we price our work, we have project-based pricing, and then for like ongoing people who have consistent projects, we have what's called like a timeshare. They can buy a block of time, or they can buy like a monthly retainer. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever had to hold your head in your hands because you jacked up on pricing?
Oh. My gosh. Yes. You talk about learning, what do they call it? How much did that lesson cost you? Mm-hmm. Like, I can break that down. Mm-hmm. I have paid real money for messing up on pricing or forgetting to bill someone or billing them incorrectly. I feel like I have made every mistake there is to make in business.
The mistakes don't stop though.
No, like new ones. I'm like inventing new mistakes. But I'm just audacious enough to keep going.
For sure. Sure. Yeah, I heard about, like, the more I watch other entrepreneurs, some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, talk about giving away work for free. Yeah. You know, and so I think that's always been some people's challenges. It's kind of like being able to balance that. When do you give it away for free? When do you charge? And what does that look like?
What changes the game is bringing a team on. Like, once you have employees, it's like, as much as I want to, like, I can, like, eat ramen noodles tonight, but, like, my employees might not want to eat ramen noodles. And I have a lot of single moms that work for me. And I'm saying a lot of single moms. I have a lot of women that work for me that are also mothers. They're not all single, but they have kids. Yeah. You know, they're doing this to bring income into their household. Yeah. And so a lot of times they will always get paid. There's been plenty of times I haven't gotten paid, but I make sure they get paid.
Yeah, no, that's good. But thinking about your journey, and I'm a big fan of mentorship.
Yes.
Right? Having mentors in your life and what that plays. What has that looked like for you? What role has a mentor played in your life in order for you to kind of navigate through some of these different learning experiences? We won't call them failures because I think you're taking them and you're learning from these mistakes.
Well, you got to learn from them too. I'm glad you asked a question about mentors because that's been like a sensitive subject for me. As a woman, I've always, in my mind, I always felt like I needed a female mentor. I sought them out. Mentorship is very important to me. I've been a mentee, you know, a whole first part of my life, and I serve as a mentor to so many. Yeah. And so stepping into this new role as an entrepreneur, and especially a female entrepreneur, I was like, I need a female mentor. And I reached out to several people, women, that declined. Yeah. And I was trying real hard not to take it personally. And so for a little bit, I was mentorless. However,
a little bit early in the game.
Early in the game. Yeah. Like I felt like I needed that to kind of get started and get going.
How far into it did you?
I would say like the first, after about 2 years, I did get a mentor. Okay. A very like clear, you agreed to mentoring me, not this, you know, kind of quasi, we're friends, but no, like I need a mentor. And his name is Peach Patel. And then I also have a business coach, and she is a woman. And so in a lot of ways, she mentors me. Her name is Viviana Wilson. And so I'm a part of this group of women, and I needed that in a way that I didn't know that I did, like a business coach, like, okay. But we're all women entrepreneurs. We come together once a month, and we just sort of troubleshoot and help each other.
Oh, okay. Is it like a mastermind or?
I'm not familiar with Mastermind,
Okay.
but it's a lot like an EO or something.
If you all get together and kind of discuss.
We have 2 presenters every month
Okay.
that kind of share
Yeah.
like challenges they may be having, or it could just be used as a focus group.
Okay. Yeah. Does that cost to be a part of that?
It does.
Okay.
It does. And so I've been doing that for 5 years. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
Yeah.
How often do y'all meet?
Once a month.
Okay.
Second Tuesday, third Tuesday. I think we're third Tuesday now. It kind of shifts every year depending on
Okay.
people's schedules. And that's been invaluable.
Yeah.
And then Peesh Patel, who is a serial entrepreneur, angel investor here in Oklahoma City. He agreed to mentor me, so I would meet with him on a regular basis. So we did that for about 4 years.
Okay. How often did you all meet?
Man, we started off meeting, I want to say like every other week, and then we went to once a month, and then we went to once a quarter.
Yeah.
And so now it's just like checking in, doing this, doing that, high fives, So it's good. I learned an awful lot from him, though. He taught me work yourself out of a business.
Yeah.
Like, your company needs to be able to run without you, like, having your hands in it every single day. And I was, like, being a technician as well as trying to run a business, and it was frustrating. And he was like, because you're doing too much.
So you need to work your way out of your business.
Yeah, he said, work your way out of a job, is what he said.
That's good. I like that.
And I did.
So whenever you meet with your mentor, you sit down, is there a set of questions already there? What does that time look like, and how long was it?
It's funny because it shifted in the beginning. So he would kind of send me, like, this is what we're going to work on. Come prepared with X, Y, and Z. And I'd be like, okay, like, ever ready student, like, did all my homework, like, I'm here and ready to go. And then after a while, he's like, okay, you create the agenda. And I'm like,
Nice.
So I think we can work on, I kind of need some help with, So like the last year, it was me creating the agenda for our meetings.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, mentor typically free, coaching
Yes.
cost.
Yes.
Did you meet with your coach as frequent as you would your mentor, and which one do you think you got I don't know if you would be willing to answer, like, the most value?
I can answer honestly.
Yeah.
Because both are extremely valuable, and I got very different things from both.
Okay.
So working with Peesh, it was more of a big picture, vision casting, thinking bigger, Working with Viviana is more day-to-day, nuts and bolts, troubleshooting. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there goal setting with the coach?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We goal set, as a matter of fact, we just set goals 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
For quarter 3. And there was goal setting with my mentor as well. But they were different goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's it. So whenever you meet with your coach, are you setting goals for all 20 of your companies? Or 50? How many companies you got?
4. 4. Yes.
Okay.
So we would segment, but then a lot of it is, mental, how I view things, how I approach things,
Yeah.
and really getting over my fears. Good Lord. Like, you just don't realize how much that plays into your choices and the decisions that you make. I mean, he would be like, okay, so why? I'd be like, da 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 da. And he'd be like, so why? And I'm like, because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. And he's like, okay, so let's dive in, And I'm like, it seems so like childish, but
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to like tap into like that inner part of like, okay, girl, why are you tripping? And I'm like, because when I was 7, my mom,
Yeah.
So yeah, he was really good about that.
That's good. Dear, you've been able to kind of watch Regina over the years.
Yeah.
With her business. Actually, she's done some work for you and all
Yes.
that. What have been some of your takeaways from watching Regina kind of grow her businesses and fail and lose and win? And
I think that's good. So I would say before that, my mentor is sitting at this table. So before I launched On My Steam Building, Hetty was one of the people that I consulted, and Hetty actually created this consortium of sorts where he invited 5-6 people to Guthrie, and we were at Hoboken Coffee. Shout out to Vintage, and he invited people there, And we sat down at this table, and I sat down at the table, and then people just kind of rotated through. And so I got access to decades of experience before I launched my company. And from there, reached out to Regina, who was probably at that time in her 3rd or 4th year of business, because I'm coming up on 6th October, so 10. And Regina just kind of took it and ran with it. So I was sitting there thinking about that, and two of the things that I know about Regina that I've been able to watch is she handles everything like her name's going to be attached to it.
Yeah.
And so like she said, not only does she work hard, but she often over delivers, right? And so she's taking me along as an entrepreneur that knows nothing about websites and branding and all this everything. And I knighted her my brand manager, and I got postcards and surveys and letterhead. I'm like, what do I do with letterhead? And she's like, oh my gosh. And I tried to create my own invoice, and she was like, oh my gosh, right? So it's like, she just kind of took everything as if it was her company, right? And so she does that in all aspects. This play that we're in, that we'll talk about soon, she's handling everything like her name's attached to it. And I think
it literally is, though.
It is. But I'm saying like when people think of the Vanguard, I think initially you want it to be known as something that can stand alone, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
something.
I try not to put my face on it or my name on it.
But it is. So that's what I'm saying. Like nobody will know unless they know that it's attached to her.
Yeah.
But it's so sleek and it's so clean, and she's trying to do everything top notch. I know we talked about earlier this past week that she's kind of setting this high bar for production companies here in Oklahoma City, and everything that follows this initial play will kind of follow that standard. So number one, she treats everything like it's hers. And not that she's trying to possess it, but she wants to make sure that it's the best.
For sure.
Second thing she does is that she's highly relational. Like she gives you access to what she has access to, whether it's people or lessons that she's learned or her experience. Like she just gives you access. So those are two of the things that I've noticed over specifically business, right? And growing as an entrepreneur, that she handles you with care and that you have access to everything that she has access to. And I know a lot of times she tried to give me more stuff than I wanted. She's like, well, in order to save you money, like, let me just show you how. And I was like, like, I don't want to know how to update my website. I don't want to know. Like, just, she was like, okay. And she would do it. But, you know, thinking like, if she was somebody that was just after money, she would just say, this is what I need, and I'll do it for you. But instead, because she cares for people in business, she was like, well, let me save you thousands of dollars and teach you how to do this stuff yourself. And so it just kind of fits into how she does business.
That's good. Good. So, you know, you said your mentor talked about the why. Like, what is the why? I think you mentioned that. And so, before we get into the why, though, but how do you define success for yourself in these different ventures? Are you money driven? Are you passion driven? Are you mission driven? Like, what is that? The more I kind of begin to talk with people, I'm learning that people are different in their how they define success and what they're after.
I think it's a little bit of everything. You know, what is critical to my character is making sure that what I say and what I do line up. So making sure that we deliver what we say. So to me, that is a success in itself. But there is a sense of failure that comes when you're putting in a lot of work, but you like can't feed your family or something like that. That feels heavy, and it's like, okay, maybe I'm not doing this the right way. So I think being able to generate income and revenue and beyond revenue, because what is revenue really? It's nothing. Profit is something. Like you can do something with profit. Like I can pay my employees. I can give back to the community. It hurts when a company comes to you or a nonprofit comes to you and they're looking for a donation and you can't. Like I want to be able to say yes. And to me that is success. So being able to say yes to the things that you want to say yes to.
Good. I like that. Now going to the why, you mentioned that your mentor kind of began to ask you why. How important is the why? Now that you kind of understand that, like, why is that important to you now?
It is central to everything. Once you understand your why, everything comes from there. He kind of drew it almost like a circle. Once you understand why you do what you do, it shapes how you price. It shapes what products you produce or deliver, your services, how you serve, and how you want to impact the community. And especially nowadays, no one wants to be, I just shouldn't say no one. People want to do business with other businesses that are making a difference in the community.
Oh, okay.
You know, what is your social impact?
Okay.
Like, what is your so choose Guthrie America. This is not about selling t-shirts.
Yeah.
It's about, heightening the awareness of Guthrie,
Yeah.
getting people to come and to experience this small town in Oklahoma and all of its charm, right? Yeah. It has a bigger mission than, which is why you give t-shirts away. Yeah. They're on sale in the boutique. Yeah. They in the window, but I just got a t-shirt today for free, and now I have 3. Yeah. I paid for 2 of them, but I didn't feel bad about it though, because I understand, and I will rock them. And honestly, and let's just be real, when I go on a plane, when I'm flying in an airport and not on a private jet.
Come on, not everybody.
No, it's okay though. But I wear my Guthrie America t-shirts. I do. Yeah. Or OKC versus everybody. Shout out to Vernon.
Vernon D's.
Yeah.
Now you're one of the few that has actual OKC America tee.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have that one. And I have
people don't know that I originally started out with several America tees.
Yeah. And
just because of time, but every once in a while, I dream about going
back. So why did you just come down to Guthrie? What's your why?
Dang.
So my time was my why. At some point, I would like to do other communities because I just love the community building.
But at the same time, you took to do OKC and Guthrie at the same time. Yeah. So, but you chose Guthrie for a reason.
Yeah. Oh, well, one is because where I live at.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's essential to your why.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to do OKC over Guthrie. I want to get people.
So let's be clear.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, like I need y'all to stop and get gas on y'all's way out too.
Okay, where do you want us to get gas from?
It don't matter.
Okay. Hey, listen. No, this is good. I was at Lake 10 Killer with a friend last weekend, and my friend was like, make sure you guys, if you're gonna spend some money, like spend it in the town. And so that's what we did. Like we went out to eat. I needed to go to like Family Dollar and like get a hat. We went and stopped at the gas station in For sure. I think it was Vian. I don't know, but we did it in the community because that was important to her. Yeah.
No, that's good. And I like the thought about social impact and community impact, which are all super important to me. But why Vanguard?
Listen, it's necessary. The Vanguard is necessary. Let me tell you why the Vanguard is necessary. Because the Oklahoma arts community is thriving, right? It is thriving on so many different levels. Theater, performing arts like dancing, singing, visual arts. And there is a thriving community of African American artists in Oklahoma. We are here. We're not hiding. We are here, but we don't always have as many platforms as everyone else. Okay. And the same thing could honestly be said about the Native American community as well.
Hispanic?
Native. And Hispanic as well. Yeah. Honestly, people of color. So, and I'm theater all the time. I love musical theater. I think in musicals, like no matter what's being said, there is a song in my head. I think musical theater people are a little different, which is a little different. But I say all of that to say, and I'm so grateful for all of the venues that we have to perform. Lyric Theater, Pollard here in Guthrie.
Yes, come on. Shout out Guthrie America.
Shout out. But we want to see us more.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah.
And at the risk of being a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
we are tired of just being slaves or, playing those minor characters. And it'd be different if the talent were not here, but the talent is here. Yeah. We shouldn't have to leave and go to Chicago or New York or LA or even Texas to get work. There are too many talented people right here in the great state of Oklahoma. Yeah.
So essentially, you want to give your wise. I want to give a platform to people who are not getting the shots.
Yeah.
That they should be getting.
This is not to say anything against anyone else.
Yeah, no.
Because I love me some lyric. I love me some pop. Like, I'm at all of the theaters. I'm trying to see all the shows. I audition, and I love the shows. Yeah. And I understand when a theater puts out a season, they're thinking about ticket sales. They're thinking about their why. But there is a community of people who are willing to perform and put their talent out there, as well as a community of people who will pay money to go see these shows. And so the market is there. I'm now really an entrepreneur speak. The market is there.
Market is there. There's some people out there willing to pay.
I'm just exposing it. So with the Vanguard, so the mission and vision of Vanguard is to create and promote opportunities for African American artists.
Yeah, and so Vanguard started when? Just
January 2019.
Okay. So what have you been doing in the last 6 months building up to this moment?
So trying to figure out what our first project would be, and I have my brother in the theater, covering up my mic, LaCharles Purvey, whom I love with my whole heart.
You want to switch it like this? Like Derek? You see how Derek's on that?
Well, I did it like that because my necklace,
okay.
I felt like it might knock against it. Okay. So I'm good. I just need to not clutch much, So LaCharles Purvey, who is a local playwright. How many Black playwrights do you know personally? Don't worry, I'll wait.
I don't want.
I don't know.
Right, LaCharles Purvey.
I know LaCharles.
You do?
Yeah,
Don't you?
I don't know him, but.
Well, you need to.
Yeah.
He needs to be on here.
He should have been here today. It's okay.
That's okay, we'll do too. Spread it out. Marketing.
Hey,
hello. Hashtag. Hashtag marketing.
Hashtag hello. Hashtag marketing.
Hashtag marketing. We can do hashtag hello and hashtag
hello,
something else. My kids are dying right now.
Hashtag should have been here.
Hashtag my kids are so embarrassed right now.
Oh my gosh.
Mom.
Because they're corny or?
Yes. Oh my God, I embarrass him on a regular. So, okay, LaCharles pitched a play to me, and I was like, oh my God, I love it. And he's like, let's do it. And he's like, I want you to star. And I'm like, I can't if I'm going to produce it. And then I was like, wait a minute. Celebrities do this all the time. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
So you're producing and
I regret it. I will never do this again.
And a mom. And 4 businesses. And a full-time job.
What's your full-time job?
I am back at Heritage Hall.
Are you serious?
And I love it.
In the same role?
No. That would have been impossible. But I work in the upper school with the students. I'm director of service learning. So any community volunteer opportunities, let me know. I will hook you up with some students.
Nice.
And she thought starring in and producing a play and starting a production company was a great idea.
And
it is a great idea.
Going through a divorce.
Yeah.
That was the one thing Derek was trying not to say.
She's going to sprinkle that just kind of casually.
I feel like that is a huge part of my life right now.
It is huge.
So, I hear you, but I'm like thinking, and I'm going through a divorce.
Yes.
So there's that.
So she's got a lot going on.
Yeah,
a lot.
There's a lot. Thankfully, I think it sounds like you have great people like Derek who are coming alongside you.
Oh my God, yeah.
So Derek, what is the why for you to say, hey, I'm gonna come alongside Regina? Because your schedule's full too, right?
Yeah.
Homie.
It is. I'm slimming it down though. Hashtag exit strategy for the people close to my life.
I don't believe it.
So
Lies.
Like, wait a sec. First, what does it mean by you slim it down? Like, how are you deciding what you're exiting?
Yeah, so I think it's just trying to stay closer to home.
No, and the reason I ask because I think there's a lot of people sometimes in that place who like
That's true.
I need to exit some things. So I just
So
how you're thinking through it.
Yeah, when you're an entrepreneur, you're trying to grow. I mean, you're super tempted to take everything and anything, right? You want the exposure, you want the practice, you want to build the relationships. So you just kind of take anything and everything that you can. But it has to come to a point where you say no, right? And it's probably not a luxury right now. It's probably a necessity, right? So I'm just trying to refine life a little bit. So whatever that looks like for anybody, even people that are watching and listening, whatever refining looks like for you, then that's my exit strategy.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But before I asked that question about the why, we were in at the end of a rehearsal, and one of the guys that's in the production, Regina, went to pub the event. And after she left, he said so many people came up to me because they're interested in acting or the arts, and they just never knew that it was something in Oklahoma City. It was
overwhelming.
Yeah, like he was like, people were coming up. She had people trying to give them her number, and they just wanted all this information. But here's the thing: up until January, I don't think there was a place for people like that to explore acting or the arts. And so, talking about the need that it's meeting is that people that have always wanted to do it, that are interested in it, now have more of a direct line to participate.
Yeah.
Do you want to expand on that real quick?
I do. I feel like it kind of started with.
I love the way you rotate in this phone.
Thank you, because I'm a professional.
We were recording this whole thing on several different cameras, and she's like,
and she's got her. Right.
Looking here. I'm looking here. I'm looking. All the cameras. Okay. Sorry, we're taking up so much of your time.
Somebody take. No, you're good.
Okay, so yes, more direct line. So I think it started honestly with Jay Proc at Poteet Theater when he did The Color Purple. First of all, he was totally in love with that musical, and so when it became available for a community theater, he took a stab at it, and he was the first community theater in the world to get rights to The Color Purple.
Oh, wow.
Now, he was discouraged from doing so because you're not going to be able to find enough black people to be in the show. People will come just because it's The Color Purple, but you're not going to be able to find a cast. He found a cast of 70.
Oh, wow.
70. And it was so easy. We came out in droves to audition for the show. And he was like, where have you guys been?
Yeah.
And we're like, waiting for an opportunity where we could be showcased and we're not slaves or, in the
back dancing and toe tapping and
I mean, that's
comedic relief.
This, I mean, in the era of Blackish, can we just be regular people? Living life like everybody else and telling that story. And that's a lot like this play, the character that I'm playing in the show, her experiences are not uniquely black or even African American. It is, her story is just like any other woman's. And I'm probably not like any other woman's because she's been through a lot of trauma, but it's not unique to the black experience. There's a layer of culture that is on the show. I love this interview. I don't know if you've seen it recently with Denzel sitting down with the cast of Fences, and the interviewer says, did the director have to be black? Like, how come a white person couldn't direct the movie? And he said, it's not about color, it's about culture.
And experience.
And he talked about like, all of us at this table know that when a hot comb hits your head on Sunday morning, we all know that smell. So it's a cultural.
That's what Denzel said too.
Those were his pretty much exact words. So that is just that layer of culture. Now, everybody that's touching this project, be it in a technical way or even monetarily, because we've had a lot of donors in our crowdfunding. Vanguard.com /crowdfunding, or you could hit us up on the Cash App, the Vanguard with a T. So
how has that been working? The Cash App, have you been utilizing that for?
It was, somebody said, can I send you money via Cash App? I was like, hold on, let me get this set up.
I love the Cash
And so people just been randomly sending like $20,
$5. Do you have a link on your website for the Cash App?
No, but I'm gonna give me a minute. # marketing. Hashtag marketing. Hashtag raise of funds. Okay, so I forgot where I was.
Talking about the interview, Streamline, big cultural experience. People have been waiting for this. Came out in droves. Oh my God, where have you guys been?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay,
So sorry.
so I'll pick up with my answer.
I'm so sorry.
I'll pick back up with mine. Here we go. So the why for participating in this specific project. So the name of the project is The Life Cycle of a Butterfly. I don't think we've said that since we've been here, right?
Life Cycle of a Butterfly comes out when?
July 19th, 2021. Opportunities to see 4 shows at Heritage Hall Middle School. What's the name of the theater there?
Howard
Theater. I'm sure we can post information in the notes of this podcast. So several reasons for me. One, I get to support a friend. And so when she told me that she was going to do this, my first instinct is any true friend would do. You do this a lot. How can I support? Like, what can I do? And she was like, I don't know, homie, like tell people or audition. And I was like, audition? She was like, yeah. And she kind of told me about some of the pieces, the roles. And so on my bucket list was to be in a play, to be like in a real production.
Is this your first production?
This is my first one.
Really?
Yep. And so I've done like some church stuff and but that don't count.
Yeah.
And so
are you trying to say Jesus don't count?
I said church plays
don't count.
Productions.
I feel you.
Don't count.
Hard time.
Easter speeches.
Hashtag don't count.
Hashtag. Right. Church has stepped the game up. So not only was it an opportunity to support a friend and mark something off my bucket list, but I have hashtag exit strategy, been at home a little bit more, and this is another opportunity to stretch myself.
So you've been at home more than you come to join?
Yeah, which is really cool because
it gave you the opportunity.
Yeah, had I been to a business, I wouldn't be able to do this. And so it's really cool, like learning about myself and about people and about the city and about the arts. I have questions every single night. Like, what does that mean? Like, what's that? Like, I'm growing through the whole process. So, and then on top of that, we get to talk about like some real stuff.
Yeah.
It's the show definitely has a cultural flair to it, but it's familiar enough that it can reach across cultural bounds.
Nice.
And I think that's cool. Anybody that comes will be able to identify with somebody's daddy, with somebody's auntie, with somebody's old cougar sister or a little brother, or they're going to be able to identify. We're hitting all the marks on this production. We're just doing it through a certain lens, which I think is really cool, really necessary. And Oklahoma is thirsty for this.
Nice. Regina, why should people come to the play?
They should come to the play because they will be supporting the arts community here in Oklahoma City, as well as part of our proceeds will generate a scholarship for a graduating senior of the class of 2020 that is going to an Oklahoma university and majoring in fine arts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's legit.
We're giving our first scholarship away
that is legit.
in the spring.
That's super cool.
So I'm really excited about that. But more than that, I mean, if you watch TV or go to the movies or, enjoy being entertained, enjoy watching life through the lens of theater, come. We're diving into some tough subjects. Yeah. Sexual assault is kind of a theme in the show. And in this Me Too era of consent and women, finding a more powerful voice speaking out for themselves. This show is critical in that. Yeah. And so we're diving in. It's tough. We're recommending high school and older because of the subject matter.
Okay.
But this will be a great catalyst for good conversations if you have daughters. I've got groups of women who are buying tickets. And there's a lot of reasons to come. It is powerful. You will laugh your behind off. Like, you will be in stitches, mainly because of this too right here. Yeah. And Deanna Cabbage, who was playing Callista. Oh my God, she is like over the top, super hilarious.
Yeah.
She is killing it in this role. But you will also cry. You know, you've got Rod Porter who's playing my husband. You've got Cameron McClure who is, I don't know what to call him.
Interesting.
He's interesting.
He's mysterious.
A mysterious artist.
Heartthrob.
He is a heartthrob.
Yeah.
You may see him without a shirt
Possibly.
during the course of this show.
It's highly likely.
That doesn't drive me, but yeah.
And may draw somebody.
It may drive you to do a
I'm
push-up.
saying, if that's a draw for you, you should come because he will be there.
Yeah.
And then you have Glenn Whitaker, who is a spoken word master here in Oklahoma City. And he is making his theatrical debut as well as Justin. So it's a small cast, but man, it is mighty.
And I tell you what, man, it's going to be, not only are you coming to support local theater, but it's going to be an experience. When I tell you that there's going to be some details put into this experience from the time you walk through the door to the time
Black
you
Carpet
leave.
Experience starts at 6 p.m.
We're talking about like appetizers, talking about photographers, talking about live music, even planning to have some discussion centering around the production. So it's definitely from the time that you come in the door, the time you leave, the interaction with the cast, the director, the producers, everyone in between, getting access to those things, I think kind of insulates the experience to where it's not just you're coming and you're leaving. We're trying to make it just this whole thing where people come in and they're immersed in the experience.
Nice.
Yeah.
What website?
TheVanguart.com. That's TheVanguart.com. If you're already ready to go buy tickets because your interest is piqued from this interview,
Do it.
add a /tickets to that, and you can purchase tickets. Please do so on a computer. Unfortunately, it doesn't. The software for the tickets doesn't really work on a cell phone. Although I've heard it works on Android. So shout out to Apple. Shout out to
Android.
Apple.
Shout
What
out
are y'all
to Apple.
doing?
Sponsor. Come sponsor.
Yeah,
Apple,
Android. Y'all want to sponsor?
Y'all
We
wanna
are
sponsor?
using
Come
cell
on,
phones.
Android.
We are using cell phones in the production.
Oh,
We are.
Look at
Which,
that.
speaking of sponsors, we've had Back to My Roots Clothing is providing. Lakeisha Bell, who is a wonderful costume designer and fashion expert here in Oklahoma City. She is creating some custom couture designs for Callista's character. So yeah, we've got a lot of people who are coming together to make this thing happen.
Legit. Any final words?
Love God, love people,
Yeah.
love your neighbor as yourself.
Shop local.
No, live your
Shop local.
live. Hey, that's real.
That's a real.
No,
Shop Oklahoma.
No, come on.
Yeah, live your best life. Write your own way. That's what my necklace says. Write your own way. Your path may not look like the next person's, and that's okay. The path that God has for you is your path, and
Nice.
you've got to walk it.
Derek, any last words? Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, man. I always love coming to Guthrie and seeing your face, and I love the work that you're doing on this podcast. And shout out to Vintage Coffee for allowing me to break away from the shop today. And come
Okay,
hang
can
out
I
with
talk to
you.
Vintage directly? Y'all really need to get your money up.
Come on,
because,
man.
Like,
Hook up with your boy.
constantly. It's not even always
It's
documented.
not even right how much he pumps vintage.
Come on now. What Bernie Mac say? Give
Are
me
you
a
still
show?
paying for coffee at Vintage?
I'm still paying for coffee. I'm still paying for coffee at Vintage.
Something that's not right with this. Vintage.
It's okay.
What
They're
y'all
gonna come
doing?
around. Vintage gonna come
They gonna
around.
come around.
They're gonna come
No.
around. It's taking a
Vintage.
while. What was that, Jerry Maguire? He was like, it's taking a while for you to come around, but I love you. It's all right.
They probably don't even know that you pump them.
Yeah, surely they do.
They have
You'd be
to.
surprised.
Okay, this is
You'd
for
be so
everybody.
surprised.
If you end up a Vintage coffee, that Ben Derek told you, just say Derek sent me here.
Yeah.
Make sure everybody in the restaurant, in the coffee shop knows.
That is so funny.
Derek
Well,
sent me.
I'm sure Mars will let them know now. Because Mars follows some of your circle. You know what I'm
He
saying?
does,
Like,
he
they're
does.
not going to be in your
Marcellus?
Marcellus Coleman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mars.
Shout out to Mars.
The writer.
Shout out to Mars.
Yeah,
He had a new T-shirt out.
he does.
Yeah, so that's cool. Well, cool, man. I'm so thankful y'all came on. I had a few more questions, but just with time and my battery life, I think on my Zoom, I thought I put in new batteries, but
Get your life.
I don't want it to shut down, and I'm like, oh, we missed like an hour.
I know.
So good. Hey, go check out the play. What's the name of the play again?
The Life Cycle of a Butterfly.
The Life Cycle of a Butterfly, July 18th through the 21st at Heritage Hall.
Howard Theater.
Off of 122nd between Penn and Western.
1800
in
Northwest
Oklahoma
122nd, Oklahoma City 73120.
Not in Guthrie, America, but we love to one day. I don't know what that looks like.
I think that Guthrie, America should show up.
Can you rent out the Pollard to host? I don't even know what that looks. Pollard do their own?
I probably could, but it has to be paid for.
Yeah.
Hashtag
sponsors.
Hashtag sponsors.
Vintage.
Would Pollard invite us out?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Would y'all invite us out, Pollard?
Would you rent a space and let us come entertain your people? Red Brick Nights?
Oh, Red Brick Nights? Like, that would be
cultural exposure.
Cultural exposure. Can you do it from the stage? Like do a segment? Like what does that look like? That would be. I think there's a lot of thought.
Let's play with it.
Yeah, let's play with it.
Okay. Hey,
good people, thank you for hitting that play button to listen in on the Hetty Coleman Show. It is a delight to have Regina in the house, Regina Joy and Derek Sire in the place to be, just to talk about all the great things that are going on in their life, to share their stories and the upcoming play. Go check it out. And as always, good people, as always, go win.